Blade Sorcery is a VR melee sandbox game in which you are given free reign over a variety of weapons, locations, spells and playstyles to use at your discretion to fight against hordes of NPCs that wish to tickle you with sharp steel. This game reminds me of a library, probably because of all the books lying around. Now the reason I say this isn't because it's boring and you aren't allowed to scream at people you've just stabbed, but instead it's because you walk up to a book to borrow a weapon, then you start another fight by going over to a book, and even your menu is a book. Why the fuck are there so many books? Although it can feel overwhelming at first with the amount of sheer weaponry you've just gotten your hands on, it's easy to use almost all of it. It's not exactly like you would use in reality. Actually, you know what? Scratch that, it's definitely not like you would use it in reality, but it's close enough to where you just not get to feel like a knight storming a medieval marketplace, but also just instead be an absolute dickhead and throw a poor wench down a well for the sheer thrill of it, nice throw by the way, but also before turning her twin sister into a Ferris wheel because why the hell not? There are lots of ways of causing a concerning amount of mutilation to your fellow combatants in this game, such as throwing, slashing, dismembering, stabbing, stabbing twice, stabbing with an arrow, magic sword, magic slam, arrow to face, arrow to gut. Okay, what the hell? Toss on cart, then off cliff, aeronautical asphyxiation. I'm not sure if this one works, but it's fucking fun, alright? Blunt force bonk, and punch. Magic sphere, magic air, just you know, magic air. And, well, okay, now you're just showing off. I don't even know what you did there. This game is one of my go-tos in the category I like to call my listen to music and go on a power trip class of game. Since most enemies aren't much of a match for you, like at all, you can just straight up brawl them without much hassle, even though I do find punching them to be much too fun in of itself. It's really great when you get to see an enemy run at you and you get to think to yourself, someone's getting fucked tonight and it ain't gonna be me! Alright mate, calm down, yeah, it's not really the time and place for that. Sometimes I can actually feel my subconscious screaming at me to slow down and stop being so brutal. Okay, now what the fuck did you do that for? They didn't deserve that at all. I mean, I know they wanted to kill you and all, but come on, that's just too much, man. Calm down. Moving around in this game is fun yet slightly tedious, as if you want to sprint, you must move your hands up and down in a sprinting motion. It's like this. Yeah, like that. Thanks, past me. The jumping is pretty stiff, but from a standstill you still get quite a lot of height, and when you combine it with the collision physics on the weapons and your hands, it makes it very easy to get to otherwise unreachable locations. Meaning you can do stuff like this, which I need not tell you is very fun, but also banned in competitive league. Being a VR game, the combat is based around blocking enemy attacks and giving them somewhere to bleed from in return as thanks. The AI will likely try and track your weapon when you try to attack them as to try and block, but the whole thing can be a bit messy at times, and sometimes the weapon will just not collide properly with something that should just be working fine. The two-handed weapons are heavier and as such require both hands for you to use effectively. Personally, I prefer to use one-handed weapons in combat, as you have two weapons, one to throw and one to thrust. With one notable exception being the maul, because, I mean, look at it, ain't that just swell? Look at it. Just rips right through them. The best part of the combat in this game by far is the magic and the telekinesis. Although telekinesis is only useful in objects like weapons, stones, barrels and chandeliers and stuff like that, it would be nice if I could use it on people. Now for the fun part, explaining the magic. There are three types of magic excluding the telekinesis: lightning, fire and purple. Yeah, we're calling it purple, that's it. Lightning electrocutes people and disables their brain for a short time, meaning you can just walk up and just punch. Yeah, do that. It can also be used to make the dead start dancing. Fireballs are spheres of fire. You can throw them with unlimited range and you can be controlled by moving your hands and can one-shot the poor bugger who gets them melded with their face and two-shotting to the body. Weapons can also be imbued with magic to give an additional bonus, such as lightning shocking enemies, and fire, it makes weapons penetrate much easier and cause some nasty looking burns. Purple is by far the best, as you can stun an enemy for a short while. But to be brutally honest, this spell is far less useful one-handed than the others, but if you dedicate yourself to using only the arcane arts, you can really mess people up. Using the spell in both hands at the same time will send the man, woman or brick flying with a respectable amount of force, enough to severely brick or kill someone if they hit a wall or their friend even. Also, remember how I said you can only grab objects? Well, I kind of lied, as you can actually grab people using the telekinesis if you have the purple spell equipped. The grab regions are the same as actually grabbing it yourself, and it's basically the best thing ever. You can fling them, string them up, and well, do this. Also, when the two purple knot cubes are combined, they combine to make one big orb that when fully charged, if you rip your hands apart, will create a zero gravity zone, making anything that enters it weightless. I don't know why, but everyone is being absolutely mental about crystals as of late, and quite honestly, it's quite concerning. I don't see what all the fuss is about either. All these people are just so detached from reality that they think that crystals, simple structured lattices, are capable of channeling ethereal energies from the depths of the moon or something. I mean, come on, it's highly improbable, and to tell you the truth, an amassment of unresearched dribble. Okay, now how the fuck did you do that? Do you get it? It's a joke about crystals. No? Oh, never mind then. With the addition of a crystal stick in the latest update, you've basically been given a battery on a stick that charges when you hold a charging spell adjacent to the crystal at the start. When charged, it will act the same as regularly whacking someone with an infused weapon, with fire and electricity, but when you combine it with the purple, the staff will create a shockwave that pushes surrounding things away. When combined with the anti-gravity effects of bopping someone on the head, or with the anti-gravity bubble, it is very overkill indeed. I swear at this point I just need to start my own damn space program. So what do I think about this one? Well, as no surprise to anyone who heard me say it before, it's a go-to and I very much enjoyed this game. The combat is sharp enough and enemies are reactive and fun to attack, although maybe a little bit too lifelike for some. The magic also adds an element of resource management and makes for an enjoyable sidearm as well as an interesting alternative full-on mage playstyle. I think that just about wraps it up, but before we disband, I have a little thing that I discovered while being a moron and falling off a ledge that I wish to share with you. After falling to my demise and onto a small cliff edge, I managed to get my hands on a box, and I found that if you spin while the box is underneath you, you can propel yourself extraordinarily high into the sky, giving you a fantastic view and letting you reach some fascinating places. And if you're especially lucky, get stuck and have to murder yourself to continue or reload your area / return to the home. I don't know, but I thought it was interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you. Probably people already know about this, but hey, I found it on my own, so I'm pretty proud of myself.